then there were other brokers who found a way to say, wait a second, we can make money too. If they push at that point in time to sell, if they see a price here and the price moves down here, we won't give them this price. We'll go hold on, we'll wait, and when this starts to do this, then we'll go ahead and we'll give them the price down here. So now you took a position up here, because that's what's being shown on the platform, right? You see a position up here. You sell, and you're waiting for the order to be filled, and the next thing you know, your order gets filled, but you get filled 20, 30 points below what you were seeing. And now you want to get out of that trade, but guess what? The trade has already started to reverse against you. So not only did you get a fill 20, 30 points away from where you wanted to get in, but now it's already now working back against you. And so you're like, oh my gosh, you know, this guy just filled me. He gave me the wrong price. What do you do at that time? You get on the phone and you start screaming, "Ah!" But imagine you're not the only one. And now they've got a small operation, maybe 2, 3 people sitting there trying to take on 50, 100, 200 calls. Because it didn't only happen to you. It happened to a lot of other, traders that are there. So that was another thing that, when you would look for customer service from some of these smaller operations, you found out that, again, they didn't have very good customer service, because the truth was they didn't have enough people working there, so when the complaints come in, that they could manage a lot of this. So imagine that you get into one of these positions and you have to wait an hour to resolve it. 2 hours. And then by the time you resolve it, it's not that you resolved it to come out of it as you thought you would. You resolved it, but you still came out with a loss. You still lost. So I mean, talking about just adding to the, the frustration of trying to learn the business. So, that all of that was going on. Okay, where did we evolve to? Where are we today? If you've noticed, I started trading when I started learning all this stuff. I started to say, man, there has to be other brokers out there that are going to let you trade the same way banks do. And there has to be a way that one can get into where I don't mind the broker making money. That's their job. They have to make money. They're in this to make money. But let it be that they're fair and they're honest. And there were a few out there. And I started to search, and there were a few. There really were. But there was one specifically that was really, in my opinion, making changes, headways, and I really liked what they were doing. And this broker specifically, these were interbank traders who were running this thing, and they were really coming in from an institutional side. So again, all the tricks that are handled in the retail end, they didn't know any of that, and they didn't want any of that. They were going to really bring an opportunity. These guys saw an opportunity to bring to the retail industry really what it was like to trade at that, institutional level. And the way institutions work, and when you're trading with these banks, is you get to see what these banks are, what the exchange rates are between them. You get to see exactly what they're charging each other, and there is no spread that's put in there by the broker. The broker, in this case, really all they want is to make a commission, a flat commission. And so they were willing to negotiate and say, listen, these are what the banks are, trading with, charging each other. You can have that. We just want a commission for every, trade that you do. And you know what? Fantastic. Transparency. I like that. I want transparency. Now, the funny thing was, as I started to try to communicate this to many traders, the most ironic thing, some traders, believe it or not, after they've gone through that masochistic approach of hiding things, the fact that they sometimes couldn't trade, and then they were taking losses, and then they would see how their commissions would add up, all right? Then they would come back and say, I don't want this. Why?
Not a good deal.
Is this not a good deal? Why is it not a good deal? I mean, look at how much commissions I'm paying. Okay, do the math. And I can guarantee you, when you did it the other way, you were paying twice the amount. Yeah, I know, but what I don't know doesn't hurt me. That was the mentality. So now it's like, okay, you'd rather pay twice in commissions, not know that you're paying twice in commissions, and think that you're getting a better deal. Okay. Well, believe it or not, that was the mentality of a lot of people, and I really had to fight a lot of that because I would get some of them to transfer over to use this broker, pay a flat commission, get fantastic, exchange, and then they would still debate that it was not a good deal. And this was the other thing that started to happen from it. Some of these wiser brokers started to catch on that this business model was one that people really wanted because there were a lot of people inclined to go there. So what started to occur was a lot of these big brokers started to offer also, in essence, similar spreads. When you would see it, the spreads were, oh man, I'm almost getting the same spreads. But the truth was, at the beginning you were, and maybe in the demo account you were, but somewhere down the road, all of a sudden, every time you click, the price that's there, why can't you get it? How many of you guys click, and every time you click, you never get, or when there's a price movement, you never get the better price? Why is it you always get the worst price? Anybody? I can tell you when going back to before the whole issue we had with all these banks going under and everything, guys, I can tell you, when you're with a real platform that really allows you transparency and that moves and lets you, get in and out with the big guys, when you click on your mouse, before you take your finger off the mouse, the order's already executed. Wow. How many of you guys click on your mouse and you take your finger off and it's like, before you see the order come in? Okay? Do you think there is somebody in between manipulating a little bit that order?
Just a bit.
Okay?
Sorting the order, yes. No.
All right. That's the trade desk. There's a trade desk. There's a trade desk.